Oh my god, I'm a Minecraft character. What the? Look, look at this. She even got my necklace. She even got the Mjolnir pendant. Look at that. I'm digging. You know, let's dig some holes. Let's keep it thematic here. Oh my god, I'm flying. Uh, this is so nuts. Call me Mark. Call me Steve. All right, let's go. What's up, you space wolves? Mark with Cardivox Academy here, and if you're new to the channel, I am a vocal coach focusing primarily on deathcore, death metal, death anything really, any type of metal, gritty, raspy vocalization. That's where I specialize, and I'm also the vocalist in 3 metal bands myself: Kardashev, Neverbreath, and Viremia. And what we do here on the channel is we take the reaction format. We look at these songs and we break them down to try to make it a little bit more educational, to bring a little bit more value to the reaction format. Now, today's video is kind of a weird one. So we have a Discord server for our patrons, and one of our patrons, she posted this video and I was about to watch it. And Alex, my business partner, he was like, "Don't you dare watch this. This is going to be the reaction this week." And I saw like the thumbnail and I was like, "This song's, we're going to do this one, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're going to do this one." So I'm not going to lie, I'm approaching this with a little bit of apprehension. Not really sure what I'm getting into, but then our patron made me as like a Minecraft character. So like, I don't know what kind of world I'm getting into here. She's like, "Here, you can use this footage in your video." And I'm like, what am I going to, I don't know. What am I going to do? I'll figure out how to splice it in. But legit, we've got Minecraft. We've got these dudes who look like they're straight out of like Warcraft or Warhammer. And I don't know what's going on. But anyway, if you enjoy the content, if throughout the video you're having a good time, you're learning something, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps a lot. And I think that's it. I think that's all we got. So let's go ahead and let's just get started. I found this interesting picture of this dude in a, it's not a tavern. I don't know what that is. Let's just do this. Let's just go. Here we go. Okay, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool. Oh, goodness gracious. What have I gotten myself into? Okay, so first and foremost, if there's a whole genre of this, please give me other bands. Clearly Windrose is amazing. But give me another band to, we're going to make this the pin. We're going to make this the pin this week. Give me another band that kind of fits this genre, because this is clearly a genre I am woefully ignorant of. And if I love the band, I'll pin your comment, and you'll win the Dancing Kirby, because why the heck not? All right, so let's let's talk about the vocal technique here. So there actually there are a couple things I want to talk about. So first, at the beginning, no, I don't remember which melody he had, but he did like almost like a spoken gritty voice thing going on, and that's really big in voice acting. You hear that a lot with like Mark Hamill's Joker, by the way. And that grittiness goes high up on our soft palate here, right? That's kind of where we want to place it. Now, a lot of the times when people are adding this like raspy grit, you know, they're not necessarily removing their phonation. They're not really doing a fry. They're not really doing a false chord. They're creating the distortion up here. What'll happen is they'll have a very difficult time taking that distortion, getting it up where it needs to go. So a lot of times what we can do is we can practice doing this with a smile, right? We can practice engaging back here, supporting with our abdominal muscles and giving it a bit of a smile. Right? Now, one of the things you're going to want to do, sorry, this song is just a lot of fun. One of the things you're going to want to do when you're doing this is you're going to want to focus on relaxing your throat. And I know I say that a lot because like that's pretty much always what you want to do. You want to have a nice relaxed throat. We're going to be narrowing the space in the back of our mouth here. This area is called the oropharynx, and that's where we have like our soft palate, the back, like the very, very far back of our mouth, base of our tongue, things like that. And there's a lot of soft tissue in there that can rattle. And so a lot of what I do, actually, it's strange. I've got like 4 students right now who are just focused on taking this sound and adding it to like their pitched singing and their various like rock and metal projects. And this type of sound, it would actually be very beneficial to them because we take this, hey, 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 we start to lean on it, hey, hey, hey. And the goal is we feel all that distortion up here and you know, nothing as far as the grit and the distortion and the rattle down here. And it can take some time, but you know, we all move at our own pace. Everybody's doing pretty well so far. Now, another thing I want to talk about is I love that we're getting some like big open chest voice here. A lot of like metal and a lot of like the prog and the gent stuff. Like over the past couple years, it's all moved like we want to be singing, you know, as high and as bright as possible. But down here, we're kind of like this. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, right? And a lot of the way that we do that is by creating open space in the back, right? So that's that yawn, that's that raised soft palate, that relaxed throat, keeping room for the sound to develop. One thing that I talk to a lot of my students about is like if I blow across like a pipette or like a little beaker in a chemistry lab, I'm gonna get a really high sound, right? And if I have like a bigger jug and I blow across that big like that mud jug, you know, I'm getting a lower sound. Part of the reason for that is because in a smaller space, the larger sound waves don't have enough room to bounce around and fully develop, right? And in the larger container, they've got tons of room, right? So when we're trying to sound larger, what we want to do is we want to relax and open. Ah, ha. So sometimes I'll have students come in and they want to have like, you know, whether they want to or not, oftentimes we start by developing their chest voice if they're clean singing. And they'll kind of try to sing these notes like this. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. We have to work on really opening up, letting things relax open. So anyways, that's a lot of talk. Let's keep going because this song is dope.
The sunlight will not reach the snow. Deep in the mind, never seen the blue moon glow. First one flies so high, feel a glass and dance on me. Stop your bellies at the fear, stumble home and fall asleep, dreaming in a mountain deep. Born underground, grown inside a rocky womb. The earth is a grave, all the mountains shall become a tomb. Face us on the battlefield, you will meet your doom. We do not fear what lies beneath, we can never dig too deep. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole, digging a hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole, digging a hole.
Well, this part sounds rather lovely. Also, by the way, y'all, in my office, I just forged. I just got the Arkenstone out of the mine with a hammer, cause that's how you mine. No picks needed here, folks. All right, so, jeez, another thing, another thing another thing that I'm enjoying about his singing here, and one thing that we can all take away is if you're trying to sing like these larger sounds, right? Hey, ah. One common problem I run into is that people, to make that space larger, they take their larynx and they just rip it down into the bottom of their throat. I am a dwarf. And can you hear how that's like a very fake sounding? It's like a fake low voice, right? So it's not quite like, yeah, it's really low and it's really open, but you can hear that it's highly manufactured. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Guarantee, and a lot of the time when I get a student who their larynx is either moving way too far down, pushing way too high, almost every time they're like, usually in lesson 1, they're like, I'm doing like this singing and it sounds good, but my throat just hurts after like 3 minutes. 90% of the time, that's why. 90% of the time, we just have to stop getting them to treat their larynx like the pump on a shotgun. They go to sing and they go, psh, 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 psh. Their larynx is just going crazy back and forth. So to do these sounds, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, we can keep our larynx fairly neutral, right? Our larynx is going to move as we sing, but we don't want to have it driving the song, right? We don't necessarily want to have it being our steering wheel, okay? It's going to move. That's part of how pitch works. But it's going to be very subtle. And I have a lot of exercises I go over with my students just to calm down their larynx, just to take their larynx and make it chill for a second. Also, completely unrelated, it's kind of weird that I'm watching this video and just this week I started playing World of Warcraft again. Rolled an orc, now I'm wishing I rolled a dwarf. Have to say, kind of strange. Anyways, let's keep going. I missed the big outro. Oh, whoa. That sounds intense. Okay, so one last thing I want to talk about vocally is at the beginning, like he was doing like this voice acting like, hey, oh, ha da ba da da da, right? I don't remember the lyrics, but it was something like that. Later on, he got a little bit more melodic with it. Hey, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Hey, something like that, whatever the melody was. And that can be a little bit more difficult, right? Because now, rather than just talking, which we're all familiar with, we're like intentionally moving between pitches, intonation. We're intonating, folks. And that can be a little bit difficult because as we move around through vowel shapes, if we're not nurturing that vowel, we can lose our distortion. We can have that sound plop back down our throat. One thing that we can do, now this isn't like the end-all be-all way to solve, having trouble maintaining resonance placement through singing sections. That takes some work. That usually is a couple a couple sessions of us really focused in on your technique. But one thing you can do is you can add a little bit of nasal color, right? Now, we don't want to sing like Bugs Bunny, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, right? We don't necessarily want to do that. But if we take our sound, ah, ah, and we allow it to resonate in our nose a little bit, sounds weird, clean, but when you add grit to it, a little easier to manage, okay? So that's one thing to think about. If you're at home, you do like this kind of like raspy, gritty singing yourself, and you're like, man, like, I have a really hard time. It's going to be a balance. It's going to be a balance of resonance. It's going to be a balance of breath support. It's going to be a balance of relaxation, right? But one thing that you can usually do right away to sort of get some immediate results, not full solutions, just progress, is allowing yourself to have a little nasality, a little nasal coloring to your resonance, just to kind of ease, to take that distortion and kind of carry it where it needs to go. But Windrose, Diggy Diggy Hole, pretty, kind of silly, yeah, but I was vibing. I dug that song. Anyway, if you like the content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It's a lot of fun. I'm feeling we're going to want to do something pretty gross, pretty sludgy, pretty gnarly pretty soon here. But like I mentioned at the beginning, we do have a Patreon where you get access to our exclusive Discord server, which is a lot of fun. You also get to vote on a monthly reaction video, which is also a lot of fun. So go on over, check it out. If you're interested in one-on-one lessons with me, go ahead and send us an email using the email in the description below. And beyond that, many thanks. Much love. I'm out. Okay, but seriously, like, I would never do that. Like, I would never. That's not how I dance. All right, well, maybe it's how I dance.
I am a dwarf and